Hello friends, this is Amy and welcome to my channel. We're going to do some fun things with just good old tin cans, and this is one of those large ones that has a whole bunch of vegetables in it. And I'm using one of the tea towels that I had tea stained, and I did that a long time ago. But I just want to start out by putting some tape down. I want to make some cute stripes, and I'm going to use a stencil with this pretty little cover for this tin can. These stripes are really fun. They make it look very farmhouse. They call them like a grain style or green stripe tea towel. And I'm usually using actual fabric paint for this because I guess I choose to do that. If I were to use it on a real towel, you'd probably want to go with, good old fabric paint. I guess the fabric paint is a little bit like it's something in there that makes it more pliable. And so that way it wouldn't crack and that kind of a thing. So I didn't even let it dry. I mean, it dried pretty fast. And so peeled it right off. And then here I'm just going to keep going and put two smaller stripes on either side of the larger stripe. Now, when I got this all done, I was trying to go for like a light gray, and I ended up, it looked darker than what I wanted. I just mixed a little white with my black paint and made a gray. I think it has showed up, the words would have been a little more clear if it would have been a lighter gray, but you know how it is. If you do it, you make it better. It's always fun when you do the reveal, it's like, oh, is it going to turn out and what's it going to look like? Ta-da! It turned out cute. And this is a stencil that I had, and I'm going to just stencil it right on and use the black. And I'm not sure why I ended up doing it upside down there. I'm not sure why, but I'll get it flipped around so you can see it. But I started out that way, and I just kept it that way. And I'm using one of the Dollar Tree makeup sponges, and just, mostly keeping it, there's paint on it, but it's not a lot of paint. And then you just tap it on there until you get your fabric nice and saturated with that paint. I did get my fabric paint. They come in those little bottles, and I got mine at Hobby Lobby. And I'm really liking it. And what I've been doing is, because I want it to last longer, is I have been not taking the whole lid off. I'm just kind of doing just a little bit to keep the lid, not the lid, but the seal on it, and just having a little hole in it so I can just get a little bit out. And that way I'm hoping that it will keep the paint a lot fresher for a lot longer. And then here we go, another reveal. Ta-da! Turned out great. And then with these fabric paints, you're supposed to iron it, which I did do that. This won't be something I'll put in the wash, but that's one of the things that they want you to do to seal it and hold it in there. And then just using my hot glue gun to attach it to our tin can. And as I'm making this, I'm thinking it would make a great can for the kitchen to put utensils in it, like, I think it's not as too big. You can't put like a rolling pin in it, but I had like a potato masher, wooden spoon, that kind of a thing will fit in there perfectly. And then all I did was just kind of roll that in and glue it down. And in this video, I am not showing you the ending of these until the very end. So you'll have to watch and stay tuned till the very end to see the final project. just putting in a little felt on the bottom. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got more to do. DIY number 2. Okay, another tin can, and I'm putting on my Dixie Belle vintage duck egg. And with this, it was so nice and thick, I only needed 1 coat. Now this is going to be a fun technique, and what it is using just a rubber stamp, using that as a mold, and we're going to apply toilet paper, and it kind of makes a I don't know, it's like a mold. You'll see what I do here. So you're going to wet it, and you're going to put 1 layer of toilet paper, 1 square, and this is double ply. Wet that, and then you're going to take a like a stipple brush, and you're going to push it down so it gets in all the little grooves and places of that stamp. And do it again, same technique. And I'm just using water to spritz it down. And then it needs to be completely dry. And I'm showing you, I'm using a heat gun. That did not work. I ended up going downstairs and putting it in front of the fireplace, and that was nice. Now it's pretty nice, you could totally press that out if you wanted to, if you're not careful. But we're going to just keep going and being careful, and I'm just going to go along and use a little water, and I want it to have a ripped edge rather than a cut edge. And I think that'll just look that much nicer. So this toilet paper molding, I think we'll be doing this more. And I think too, if a person had a more detailed, I thought that B was going to be very detailed, but it wasn't as much as I wanted, but it still turned out pretty good. And so once I've got that out, then I'm just going to put a little white glue on the back, and then I put it right on the can, and just be real careful and not press it down, because it does hold its shape, and mainly just went around the edge. And then of course you've got to kind of work on getting the details out of it. And I actually have some of this, let's see, it's going to pop up here on the screen. Gilding wax, and it's a bronze color. So I just put a little on my finger and just went with it. And I think it did a nice job of pulling out all those little bumps and creases and all the little pieces or parts, so then it's a bee. And then of course I wanted to just add that to the can itself, and I think the coloring looks pretty good. I liked it, but I wanted to do a little bit more, and so I tore up some strips of the muslin that I had, and I've just got white, and so I'm just going to surround the can with a little bit of that. And then I made a bow, and we're going to put a bow on the front, and this all just kind of softened it up. And then I'm looking at it, what else can I do with this? And I was looking at my wood pieces, and there was a round piece that fit perfectly. So of course I thought I need to make a little top for this. And there it is. I was just like stunned. It fits perfectly. And I'm pretty sure that was just maybe a Dollar Tree thing in a little package. So for it to kind of blend in and match things, I decided to paint it white with the chalk paint. And I did a couple of coats of that. And then it needed a lid top. And lo and behold, I also had this old spool of thread, and the thread matched that vintage duck egg. Like I said, we'll see how things look at the end. Now, this isn't a tin can, but I wanted to show you for Valentine's Day something really cute, cheap, just an old peanut butter jar that I washed out. And there was some printing on the top of the lid. It's red. And I wanted to cover that up without like painting it because I wasn't sure how well that would stick. And so I did my best, cut up a doily, and watch how this works. I didn't know I had two layers of doilies there. So all of a sudden I got this and then it separated. It was like, oh, okay. So I got that to stick down. And here I had that other little piece on my other fingers. And I love my gingham check. You know, whatever you want to call it. Gingham, buffalo check, whatever. I have loads of it. I love it. And so I decided to just roll this around. And I have got some of that nice sticky tape. And Stampin' Up! Has some really nice tape that it's called tear and tape. So you just tear it, and it's got the double-sided, and it's really good for this kind of thing. And again, more tear and tape. And I'm just going to secure down some of this very pretty lace. I think I got this at Dollar Tree. And I kind of like how it's an off-white, kind of a cream look. And then it needs just a little tag. And because it was so transparent, I did cut out a heart and just pop that on the top. And then just write on your Happy Valentine's Day. And if you noticed, when I poured in those Hershey's Kisses, there wasn't very many left. I kind of got into them and started snacking on them. I shouldn't have. DIY number 4. This is my inspiration. And my husband said that those were like little water towers. Okay, so this is my attempt at doing this. And I knew I needed to do a circle so then I could make a top for this tin can that I'm going to make into a little water tower. And so just doing things like the eyeball kind of a thing, I'm trying to find the center of this circle. And then I'm going to cut to that center piece. And then you'll see I can use that to overlap and bring it together. Okay. And this is just like real thin cardboard kind of a thing. Not a chipboard, it's even thinner than that. Something you'd have like a cereal box. So I was just, fussing with it and trying to get it to fit, and I ended up trimming it even more. And so that was about perfect. And so then I put the glue on and held it down into place. And I had that red marker. Well, as you can see later, I couldn't get that covered. So I'll show you what I ended up doing. So here I'm going to hot glue it in. And you just hold it until that glue gets hard. And you can see it's taking shape now. And my thoughts were a grain bin. But grain bins don't normally have legs like a water tower does. But I didn't know that. I mean, I know that, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm taking and cutting it down. I took off that little top. It's just it's an ornament. Cut the top off so it's a circle, and then made holes with the drill. And when you want to put wood together, it's best to use wood glue because that holds it so nicely. Okay, and there's my legs, but they were not very sturdy. And you could see in the example that they had like a little X on it. And so I decided to do that. But how in the world do you do this so it actually holds and looks decent? So I just got out some, it's thinner like type string, hoping that that would be, not too bulky. It still ended up to be pretty bulky. And so when you do it, maybe see if you can find some really thin wire, because then it would be more sturdy and, not so much bulk. And I did, on the ends of these, I did put a little white glue just so they weren't sticking out, or, it kind of helped with the knot. And then I'm just kind of gluing things in place, and I did have my hot glue ready to go so I could kind of dab a little bit there and there, and, just to keep it from falling down. So I just kept going. I got the other side done, and then I wanted to wrap around all those places that the wood came together without trying to make it too bulky. It still ended up pretty bulky, but I'll show you what it looked like. And there it's done. I thought, well, maybe when it's painted, it'll be okay. So we're just going through painting it white. I'm not sure. If you're not looking for it, it looks fine. And then I didn't paint the top because I wanted to glue that together. And putting on my coat of white on the entire piece. And that red just seeped right through. Just showing you, I used E6000 on the outside and then put some hot glue on the inside to have your long-term hold and your short-term hold. And it doesn't take long for that to stick together. Because I kept trying to, cover up that red, I decided to just get some silver paper and make a rosette. And so you just back and forth like a fan. And then you're going to open it up and just kind of twist it around and glue the ends together. And again, I used that nice double-sided tape, and then it didn't, come apart. I'm just kind of looking to see, okay. So I fit it in first, and then I put the glue on, and I just did it really quick so it could hold it down. Cool, huh? Looks very authentic. And then in the inspiration piece, there was a bird on the top, and I thought, okay, I'm going to put a bird up there because it kind of looks funny without something there. And then I went, and when everything was dry, I painted the entire thing with the white paint. I'm just showing you, it's called On the Farm. This is a stamp set that you can get through me because I'm a demonstrator. Thought, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And I thought, my farmhouse friends, they would really enjoy something like this. So all I'm doing is inking it up, and I'm putting it on a piece of tissue paper like you'd get in a gift bag, or, put in a gift bag. And put it down, and then we're going to get the paintbrush and the water out again. I'm going to fray up that edge, and you won't even see that is there, because it's going to go on with the Mod Podge. It'll go in those little, the ribs of the can, and it'll look great. Yeah, as long as you're using white, it looks, you can't even see it. I kind of love that it's got the ribbed, the cans, and that's meant for sturdiness. And with a real grain bin or water tower, that's the same purpose, is to give it that strength. And so we're just going to paint everything white. I ended up doing a couple of coats on that bird. Just showing you that I just wanted to add to the entire thing using some silver metallic paint. And then I didn't even clear off the paintbrush and put some black right on it, and pretty much dry brushed some black on there as well. So there's the silver and there's the black, just to kind of give it you know, some age. It'd be really cute too if you wanted to put some rust spots somewhere in there. That'd be really fun. And that is what I ended up coming up with. Here is the final. So we've got our first, this is the one with the toilet paper used, the toilet paper mold. I like how that turned out. And there's that, actually that's the first one with the big tin can and the utensils inside. And there's our little water tower. And I will show you the Valentine one too. That was just a little bonus. So check the link out if you wanted to get that stamp set. I just thought I'd offer that. You can see that on the Stampin' Up! Site. Here's that cute little Valentine one. Using just stuff we had in the house, and you can do this. Thank you, my friends, for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.